Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to Talking Crit, a roundtable discussion where we discuss and ask questions of each episode that we've recorded so far in a podcast. My name is Eric, and with me I have the Crit crew, the three players that have brought together and developed these characters that you have been following. So without further ado, I will present the players to you. Katie, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll just kind of go around the table.
Hi, my name is Katie. I play Ari Arcalis, and this table is rectangular.
That's right. It is rectangular. It's not round. That's true.
Yeah. And I am Brian. I play Kelbrooks. And yeah, why are you at the head of the table?
Jason, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Jason. I'm playing Gorath. I don't have anything witty to say. That might cost money, or when we're doing something different. Like we got to save that for in character.
Right, I agree. Save all the good material.
Jason's just mad we shoved him in the corner.
No. Nope. My head was just too shiny for the lights. So.
Oh man, we're getting real. So what I'd like to do is have each one of you roll this beautiful D20, and whoever has the highest number will be the first to start the conversation and the questioning as we attempt to discuss episode 1, A New Beginning.
2.
That's pretty low.
2 for me.
10.
10. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Whoop. There goes my mic. And a 4.
Okay. So
got some high rolls today.
Katie/Ari, if you want to ask your questions, by all means.
What about the DM?
I have questions. Don't worry.
Okay, are you gonna?
Do you get to roll?
Do you get to roll, or do you get to enter?
All right, I'll roll a nat 20. Watch.
Let's see this.
That's a nat 20.
Rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
it is flashing.
Is it flashing?
It is flashing.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Nice. I didn't want to go first anyway.
It is flashing.
So-
Still flashing.
Yeah.
It'll flash. It's like choke on water. It'll flash forever. So knock it off another number.
Are we allowed to show? Are we allowed to show the die on camera?
I would assume so.
Let's see. Okay. Ooh, yeah, this thing shines nice and red
When it lands on a
It's
20.
20. So
Yeah. It was actually a gift from a former player that I was running the game from, or for. All right. So my question to the three of you, and we'll go in the number of however you rolled your number. So it was
Conveniently, we
19.
rolled this way.
The same way we actually introduced ourselves.
It's like we planned this. My question for the three of you was, what was the inspiration behind your characters?
Oh, we're getting deep right away.
I mean, that was my question. Is like, what was your, the reasoning behind kind of creating or developing your characters?
Okay, well, I had never played the rogue before. And as some of our viewers probably know, I'm more new to D&D than everyone else. So I figured it would be fun to start off with a rogue and kind of just started building a character. And honestly, she sort of developed herself.
Okay.
So I didn't really have like a inspiration or someone I was basing it off of or anything.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So for Kelbrooks, I mean, essentially, I wanted to do a cleric. I've played one a few times in the past, but I also didn't want like the quintessential my parents died and I'm going off on my own or anything.
Yeah, the stereotypical D&D background.
Yeah, or going on a search for vengeance or something like that. He honestly was just like a pretty cool dude. His parents wanted a better life for him, so went off, did some things, wasn't for him, became a hermit in the woods, and I was like, that sounds like a Good idea.
Yeah.
I like just playing big tanks. That's
I got you.
That's fair enough.
I mean, the wizard that I played previously, he was fun. But if I'm gonna get crazy, it'll be later on. Rest in peace to Grumple.
Yeah.
Dude, oh man, Grumple was the best.
Grumple was good. I remember him.
Grumple. He was a gnome wizard for all of you out there.
Yeah.
But no, I just like tanks. I mean, I had fun with rangers, barbarians, and I just want to try my hand with the fighter this time. So
Gotcha.
And I like playing dumb characters. So it's a way to.
Well, I hate to say it's when you do it well.
I do well. I do it.
You know, in the episodes that I've listened to, you're very witty comedy. I don't know how to explain it. You play dumb smart, if that makes sense.
I work in sales, so you have to know your audience.
There you
Yeah.
go. See, there you go. There you go.
So I talk dumb a lot.
All right.
I have also previously pretty much exclusively played magic users, and I wanted to try something that was different. So
Okay. That makes sense. Total sense.
And rogues are deadly.
They
True.
are.
very true.
They are so powerful once you get the feel for them. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Eric and I back in the day played a game, and he tried. I
Yeah.
mean, you were trying to kill my
A DM
character.
never tries. Trust me.
Oh no! You even told me you were trying and accidentally killed another
I
one.
really
of our
don't
players.
know what he's talking about. Don't listen to that.
But no, it's rogues. Rogues are
Some
OP.
people would say they're broken. I mean,
yeah.
depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
But you know, that's another discussion for another podcast for another day.
Yeah.
Broken. I know. I mean, because they're pretty soft if you can get to them. That's the thing. So I mean,
Unless you build them up,
eh,
like when they get in the higher levels,
Yeah.
you can get some stuff.
I mean, you can, with uncanny dodge, higher levels, getting good equipment, good armor, having a high AC, high dexterity makes it hard to hit.
right.
It's and then once you get high enough, you get also evasion. That's huge. Having any dex saving throws,
Right.
the damage from that is huge. Or completely ignoring it because you
That's
have
true.
a high enough dex and are
That's
able to get
true.
out of the way. I mean, that's literally. Eric came after me with a dragon, and
I don't know.
came after our party with a dragon.
That sounds
and,
better.
And
Did not single you out, despite what you say.
But I think the only damage I took from that entire encounter was we had a flying carpet, and that
Right.
got destroyed, and I fell.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Fell very far.
Yep. Well, let's get into the episode,
Yeah.
and let's discuss. Let's start with our questions and see where this goes. That would be you, Katie. You're next.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Okay.
She's got a long list of questions.
I do not.
Okay, now.
My first question is for Jason.
oh boy.
Ooh.
I know you said you made Gorath a more dumb character, but why did you decide to start messing up everyone's names?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
It's just a quirk. I just went with Cole and went with Hole,
Yeah,
and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it.
I love it.
I don't know why. Well, Hole matched because he got stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Damn, I didn't even think about
Yeah, I
that.
didn't either.
That's exactly where it came from. It was just a joke because he got stabbed, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make this a character trait, and we're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's it. There's nothing overcomplicated.
Yeah,
He
all
got
right.
stabbed. There was holes in him. I'm like, all right, he's gonna be stupid, or is he stupid and he actually knows your name? He's just fucking
Right.
with it.
There
Right.
was one point where you said it correctly and then corrected yourself to say the wrong name.
Yes.
So,
That's a good question.
I'm going to believe that Gorath does know his name and is trying to be stupid.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't think of that either.
His intelligence isn't that low. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
He's trying to
man.
act
It's not a
okay.
dump stat. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Oh, it's not like my dexterity.
No, no, that is not his dump stat. So
Oh,
let's just. There might be a little deception involved with this.
Yeah. Well. All right, for me, um, I'm curious. What was it? Axebeard, Farley
Farley
Farley.
Axebeard, yes.
Farley Axebeard. Did we ever actually hear the story of the axe?
No.
Will we? Well, I guess if we ever make it back there,
That's
we'll have
correct.
to ask.
That's right.
Okay. Because I know you were talking how he's always pointing to it and talking to people about
Yep.
it, but I don't think
The
we ever
judge.
got around
So
the judge.
for players that I've played with, they know usually my NPCs have a backstory or something. So there's some nuggets. There's a lot of stuff, I'm not going to lie, that during these episodes didn't get uncovered or unlocked or anything like that. So,
That's awesome.
yep.
Interesting. All right.
I guess that's me.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess, Brian,
Mm.
why are you going with your deity?
Okay. That's a good one.
So, it was kind of a two-for thing. I wanted to play a grave cleric because they're really interesting. The duality of it, you as a cleric, the traditional cleric, you want to always help and heal people and everything like that.
Right.
But with a grave cleric, you follow a very strict line of, well, but not everybody should stay around always.
Right.
You as a grave cleric, you're very weary about disturbing graves, things like that. And there's, you have a respect for death. So with that, and then of course, Eric's brilliant world that
thank
he
you.
has built.
Thank you.
Hopefully
Hopefully published in 2023. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Morgana is, that is kind of her domain. So that's the reason why I went with Morgana, is because I was really interested in playing a grave cleric, and because of what Eric had built, it just fit for me.
Right.
So, yeah. That brings us back to
Oh,
to
that
you.
would be me.
Yeah.
Let me think of a question here because I only had one good one. I'm not gonna lie, and that was it.
Improv.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yes,
the best
and?
stuff from the improv. Let's see. Thinking back on the episode, the shrimp. What was the reasoning behind the shrimp? Because it was comedy gold.
You didn't give me red meat, so
Oh.
it's improv.
Yeah, it was
He's-
comedy gold in my part.
He's a mountain dweller, so you got to think that he doesn't get exposed to salty seafood very often. So we're just gonna roll with it.
All right.
Again,
All
it's
right.
just it's a unique item to him. He doesn't get to the coast,
Right.
so
Makes sense.
we're gonna consider this a cuisine. Even though a lot of people think shrimps are the cockroaches of the sea,
Mm.
you're gonna gobble them all up.
All right.
All right. My next one's more of an observation because I was
Okay.
going back through the episode, and when we were looking at all the people who had died around the caravan,
Correct.
they were all human.
Correct.
And there were two other people that were missing. One was a half elf,
Yep.
and one was a human female, which we obviously found was Syndra. We never found the half elf.
You sure did not.
So I want to know if they were part of the raid, or if they just managed to escape like Cole did and never showed up again.
I'm gonna put it this way. Like I said before, usually my NPCs have some sort. They're not just. How do I put this? They're not just mindless things. They have life. I like to try to make the world living and breathing. So yeah, there may be something to that. I'm not going to confirm or deny if they were in on it or not, but there may be something behind it for sure.
Right.
So that was a good question.
Figured it might have been like something we might eventually uncover, or just maybe we'll never know again. But
It depends. We'll find out. I mean, I got lots of notes and lots of ideas. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Female, male, male. Yeah. You're killing me there. I don't have any other questions really about episode 1. Well, okay. Because of where we've been so far, the caravan. Oh,
Wandering.
He's a
Wagon
very
Costa?
meticulous note taker.
yes,
As well as Katie, Jason just remembers everything.
Try to remember it.
I mean, it varies.
What are you looking for?
Okay, it's the wandering Casta. Did you say
Wandering
that?
Wagon Costa.
The wandering wagon.
Coster.
Yeah.
Costa.
Are they only located in the Green Coast Landing, or
No.
are they?
No,
spread
they're
throughout?
like Amazon or UPS. They're a shipping company basically.
So
So they have different. Yep.
Oh, there's a point A. There's got to be a point B. If
Yeah.
It's a traveling caravan.
So the way I designed it in the world is each like major city has a branch or location,
Okay.
and then there's like a head courier or a headmaster or whatever you want to call. I don't remember. I have to look at my notes. I don't remember.
Postmaster.
Something like that. But yeah, they broker the deals to ship goods
Okay.
to and from.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's a good question though. And then there's Mr. Improv.
There's me. All right, Katie.
Oh,
Kind of doing introductory questions. Episode 1. Being a newer player with an experienced DM.
I'm not that
He's
experienced.
experienced.
He's very
Yeah,
experienced.
he is.
Brian is a very experienced player, and I consider myself a novice still. How are you feeling at the table? Because this is what, your second or third campaign or character that you've done?
It's so many. I'm not really gonna count the first one because that was also a new DM. So yeah, it's like
We love you, new DMs. You got to start somewhere. Just
yeah, it was good. It was just they
Yeah.
were kind of struggling. We were both new players,
Yeah.
so the whole campaign was
Everyone has been
a
there.
little more
Yeah.
different. But it's I don't feel like I'm doing too badly. Hopefully you would agree.
Oh, yeah, you're
Sometimes
doing
I
good.
feel like I'm struggling with like what I want to do next because obviously I'm new to playing a rogue. I've not played very many campaigns, so I'm still trying to like figure out, okay, what do I want to do? What actions can I do? I still don't know when I can do sneak attack.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So-
screwed that up, and I played a rogue for
Yeah.
Yeah.
2
So
years.
sometimes it feels like I might be taking a little bit longer to try and figure out what I want to do, but having 3 people who know what they're doing, obviously very well,
Right.
Sort of.
most of the time.
Well, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know what I'm doing.
Does
That's why I
help.
improv with wit.
Well, true. It does help a lot, and I'm definitely feel like I'm learning faster than I would be with other players who don't.
Well,
know what
that's
they're
the
doing,
thing. If
so.
you go back and you listen to the episodes, there's several points where there's several mistakes, and it's just being human. It's just
Right.
get caught up in the moment, and just happens.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing to do is just roll with it and then correct it later. As you'll hear lots of DMs say, just keep going, let the fun happen, let the game go, and then just address it later. So, I'm not perfect.
No one's perfect. So.
None of us
So,
are. All right.
here's a.
Do we want to move to episode 2, or you still want to make or hit with episode 1? Here?
I think episode 1. What's our time on that? Honestly.
20 minutes.
Oh no, that's too
Almost.
short.
I mean, yeah, we're at 19 minutes and 39 seconds.
Oh, that sucks.
It's bonus content. It's not.
I know.
It's-
I know.
throw some ads in there.
Let me. Yeah, right. Stretch it out with that.
Shit out with that.
Well, we got a lot that we're gonna have to cut out right here.
Post editing.
You add clips in of what we're talking about when we're adding questions.
Yeah, I mean you can do that. Actually, I do have a question. The question that I have, as I'm stalling to extend the
It's a
episode,
questiony question that requires an answer.
the map. What was everyone's thought when they found the map in the Circle the Wagon? And there's a funny story behind this. I will tell you.
Oh, yes.
But I like to ask the players.
I mean, I know me personally, when I found the map, I was like, oh, this is odd. But it wasn't something I was like really focused on.
Okay.
But it was, yeah, it's definitely was an odd thing, but it's not something that I was like, Calbrix was not fixated on.
Right.
I feel like as a player, I kind of recognized where the area was, but I knew Ari wouldn't.
Right. Okay.
But I definitely was interested in like the text on the back, and I wanted to know what it said.
Right.
So obviously, as a player and as Ari, I don't know yet, and I'm interested to learn more about it. And I actually have another question for later in our episodes about the map.
Okay, that's great.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he's Gorath.
You
He
ate
just
shrimp.
sticks his finger up in the air, and he knows which direction to go.
I don't know
because-
if Gorath even saw it that episode.
You
I
did
think
not.
he
No.
like briefly
Yeah, no,
looked
he
at
did.
it and then moved
Well,
on.
yeah.
you guys asked me to read the back of it at one point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did. We asked you to read the back of it as you're chowing down on
On
shrimp.
shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
we were more
specifically am like, do
distracted.
not drop shrimp juice all over this
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I don't think we ever flipped it over and showed you the actual map until like an episode.
It was later.
A couple
Yeah.
episodes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
I remember now. Kelbrix and I were looking at it, and I was saying as Ari. At least I didn't call you. Okay, anyway. Ari and Kelbrix were looking at it, and I think Ari asked if you understood the language, and that's when we called Gorath over.
yes, that is
Right.
very true.
So, funny story behind this map is I was extremely nervous trying to put together this podcast. And I had the map. It's a beautiful map all put together. And there is ruins or a language written on the map that I had to, I actually use a calligraphy pen and put it all together and everything. And I left the answers to the map essentially, or what the ruins said, folded up with the map.
You did.
Now,
I read it,
the
and I completely
beautiful-
forgot.
The beautiful part about it is it was, so far between episode recording at the time, they forgot what it said. So really,
did.
I don't think any of them know what it says, which
No.
is great. But just to let you know, experienced DMs will screw up for sure.
Yeah, because it was funny because like we saw that and yeah, Katie and I both
know.
had the map and I was
I got
we had that
glances.
and I was like,
I was like, is this supposed to
I
be?
know, no, absolutely not.
and you're like, no,
No,
you
no,
shouldn't
no,
know
no.
that. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna forget this
Right.
then. Like, and yeah,
And we
I
did.
Right.
I honestly do not remember. I checked through my notes to make sure I didn't write it down, and surprisingly, of all people, Katie didn't write it down because
not.
she's
Right. She's the meticulous note taker.
like I'm pretty good with notes, but I do shorthand and
Yeah.
will remember things.
Yep.
Your notes are
Meticulous.
insane.
They are.
I've had people joke that we should publish them as a novel.
Yeah.
I mean, it
For a
could be.
different campaign.
It probably could be.
Just publish my notes when you publish the book.
Yeah. Journal of Ari.
There
Right
you
with
go.
it.
So, as a peek behind the curtains, because we are
Oh yeah.
new
Yeah.
and bringing this up and everything. We all have been kind of helping out with different things. Eric has been the one that has been editing all of the audio and everything, which has
Thanks.
been
Now they can tell me, oh, he's the reason it sucks.
no.
Uh,
He's been doing a fantastic job. We when we first started out, and we actually, we're trying to record different things and all of that, which is why the podcast kind of picks up with us being in the Green Coast
Right.
landing, because our first episode, unfortunately, our audio was horrendous.
Oh, no. We recorded the first episode, right?
No, we did.
Oh,
we recorded. So
I will shut up now. Keep going.
So,
Sorry.
well, no, that's the thing. The first episode was us kind of a prequel.
Oh,
that
yes.
were gonna
There
do.
we go.
episode
Okay.
0.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was
episode
an
0.
episode 0 that we were testing out to kind of play around with things and see how the recording went. And
Yeah.
and we very quickly realized we needed
Better
mics
equipment.
and better equipment.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's been fun.
It's still in process, believe me, as most of you faithful listeners out there can attest.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together and just hopefully keep improving and going from there.
So, I got one final question.
Oh, great. That's good. We can extend this a little longer.
So, Jason,
Okay.
what is your subclass? I know you're a fighter.
Oh, let me look it up.
We've never actually.
He's going to use BMB Dion, people.
Yes. We've never actually. I don't think it's ever been stated what type of fighter you are.
Mm-hmm.
And same
A
with
good
you,
one.
Katie. What type of rogue are you?
I'm a thief.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense.
She's the little bandit.
Yeah,
Little bandit.
Yeah.
that's great.
And the item that gets brought up in later episodes
Mhm.
is a result of Eric's, again, world building and being a thief.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Champion.
Oh, okay.
Of course he
Champion.
is.
Champion fighter.
Yes.
I thought that's what it was. I just wanted to make sure off the top because I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Right, right.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but as the champion fighter, you get points for different abilities and all of that.
Yes.
Have you ever used one?
Not yet.
Nice.
I love it.
So that's kind of my strategy. Like I'm not very loosey goosey with like I guess what you would
can
call
do.
like spell slots or
Yeah.
something like that. Like I save them because you just never know when you're not going to be able to get to that long rest, and I don't want to burn them on something that's a distraction.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Because the big
No.
bad is hiding behind the ancillary fight that we're dealing with.
It's like you
Right.
played with me before. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, but it's common practice with some of the games that I play, not just with you, but with other
Yeah, no.
DMs that like they will burn your resources,
Mm-hmm.
Strategy.
and then all of a sudden you're stuck in the big bad, and you're just relying on your dice.
Right.
And
Yep.
it's like it can go to hell real quick.
Right.
So I'm very paranoid about burning things unless I absolutely have to. Like potions, I don't even want to use potions until I
yeah.
absolutely have to. So
Right.
it's like I like to save it for a rainy day, and then just try to murder hobo things as much as I can, and then deal if I've got this stuff in my back pocket.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let the DM make me burn all my stuff.
Right.
Right.
All right.
At least try.
Right.
That makes sense.
And that brings me to another good point here for the listeners and the viewers out there. In this campaign, we are doing not the XP, the traditional XP. We're doing a what's it called?
Milestone.
Thank you, the milestone. And what I like to do is when they reach certain points in the story, they get it when they level up when they long rest. And I'm not taking credit for this because I think Brian, you were the one that started it in one of your games that I'm playing in,
I think so.
and I'm sure you probably borrowed it from somewhere else.
I think so.
Yeah, but it's a very nice way to kind of represent, hey, I took a long rest and now I am rejuvenated, and it makes better sense in the game.
Mhm.
there's a lot of other things too, like inspiration points. Those are really cool things. And then there's the plot tokens that no one has ever used.
No.
We actually have the plot tokens incorporated into the campaign. Nobody has used them yet.
I was about to.
I custom made tokens for them, and they've not used them.
I was on the verge of using one, and that didn't end up happening because, well, I don't know how far into this conversation.
Don't take it too far. Save it for those later episodes for sure.
There's a point in one of our later episodes that I was so close.
Right.
So close. Like I think I was actually reaching into my pouch because like I still keep that in just with all my gold and everything. And I think I was reaching in to find it, and then nope. Okay, cool. This works.
Right.
I don't believe I've used my inspiration point yet either.
Okay.
I mean, I've used inspiration points
a lot.
Yeah.
And earned a lot too.
Calbrix has also used.
I think I'll kind of like make
used it on,
not a question, but more of a general statement as to your gaming style.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something for people that have never played D&D before or whatever. You're going to run into two different types of players. Ones that are, and DMs. Ones that are story driven, which Eric is, and it's just this is to clarify that we will have consequences to our actions. If we roll bad dice, we're going to lose.
Absolutely.
This is not a game, and that's speaking to certain types of players. This is not we're playing to win.
Yeah.
We're playing to have fun, and we're playing to have the story.
Right.
I personally do not like playing with people that have the I need to win the game mindset. Those people are not fun, and I don't like them at my table.
I would agree.
I'm just making a general statement out there that if you are a play to win person, I'm going to look directly in the camera now on this. This is not going to be the podcast for you. Like, sorry, but
look at the intensity on his face.
No, but it's
wow.
Those players, they're not fun to be around with, and that's all I'm going to say on that. So,
right. Yeah. And it takes a very, very special DM to manage, because it does take management to kind of try to curve that and make sure all the players kind of like work together for sure. Yeah. Sometimes you can't, you can do all the things, and I'm sure there's tons, and there is tons, because I've watched YouTube video after YouTube video. You can try all the tricks. You can talk to them. You can give them warnings. You can kick them from the table. I mean, those are all very legit things for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the biggest thing, I would totally agree with that. There are definitely there's two types of DMs too. There is the murder DMs that like to kill their TPK their parties, which,
and if we screw around enough, we probably deserve it.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that.
But you will not railroad us through a linear story point, but you will get us on track if we deviate too much. Yes. But you will also allow us to explore. Yeah. But if we explore and go off the beaten path, hey, look at you, level 3. You're going to run into a bunch of level 20s, and you're going to be in trouble.
And I don't want to sound too braggadocious, but I think that's why a lot of players I've played with enjoy the games, because it's a good mix of sandbox, open world, and story driven stuff. Oh, yeah. And I haven't had too many players that haven't had some type of enjoyment within one of my games. Mostly it happens because the game ends too early or something like that, and they get a little disappointed that way. But and I know that I'm not trying to sound smug or braggadocious by no means. Just giving advice to any new DM out there, like, just kind of think of who you want at your table, and then what kind of game you want to run too. It's a good one. Well, I think we kind of
I have one more question for you.
Go right ahead.
Since it is the first episode and talking about like the different types of players and such, why did you choose us 3?
Ooh.
I think that's all the time we have. No, that's an excellent question. No, and it's pretty much, I wanted exactly what Jason just hit on earlier in this episode. I wanted a newer player who had an eagerness to play and learn. I wanted the old grizzly veteran down there, being Brian, who's an excellent excellent rules guy, and he's very good at keeping me in line in a polite way. Like, he's not the rules lawyer that says, "Hey, you suck, you screwed up." And I need to be kept in check too, because I can't remember all these rules. And then I wanted the novice guy. I wanted the guy who had just enough experience, and then not only that, still had the eagerness to learn different things too. And that was what it was.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
with that being said, one thing I feel bad because, especially in like the first couple episodes, I feel like I'm doing a lot more of the talking, and it's terrible. I hate that.
I think everyone is extremely nervous.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you listen to the progressions later on to the episodes, and I encourage all of you to do that for sure, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable. Jason really comes into his own probably like 3-ish, 4-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gorath starts to develop. I think Ari still got a little bit more to develop, but she's getting there. And Kelbrooks, you pretty much hit your stride with him. Like, you know where you're going with that.
It's also the nature of the characters, though, too.
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
a cleric is going to be more talkative than a thief.
Oh yes. Oh, I know.
Ari
Believe
has
me, I
to-
know.
You know, and the fighter is going to be the big dumb one-liner. And then,
Right.
as you see when we get a little further along, when Gorath has a conversation with Sender in a hotel.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
excellent.
That was hilarious.
In
That's-
editing that episode, I listened to that just several times because it just cracked me up. And there's several times in several episodes, there's certain things you're like, this is just comedy gold, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Gorath definitely has the best one-liners. Jason is, in my opinion, probably, at least in my opinion, one of the best improvers of any
yeah.
of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
definitely.
Again, it comes with the job background that I am in now, and being able to improv on the fly, trying to close a sale.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it happens. So
Touching back on kind of like us trying to come into our own with the characters, that's also kind of how I made Ari the way she is, because I knew myself personally, it would take a while for me to like warm up on
Yep.
the podcast
Yep.
and get used to fighting or playing with you
Sure.
guys as well. So I made Ari to be like, well, she's got to kind of learn to trust
Grow.
the
Yeah.
people she's with and really start to get into things. So I figured it worked well that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's good.
Oh yeah.
not to go off on another tangent. There's another podcast, Pro Wrestling, and teaching people how to do the promos. You listen to that, and those guys that are really good at it, and how they tell you to sell
Yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and it is like it's the wrestling promo. Everybody, so pro wrestling, everybody knows it's fake.
Yes.
How do you still get people to pay $60 every time to go to a show or watch a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
And that's the art of the promo
Mm-hmm.
and doing that. So like, I listen to a lot of pro wrestling podcasts for guys that are like from the early '90s because they got everybody hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And listening to those podcasts, it's like they tell you how to do it.
Okay.
So it's, I take a lot at the heart, not just for the podcast, but also for sales. When you're talking, like
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's an art form to it. So
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Shit.
We're getting deep, man.
Yeah.
There you
It's episode 1 getting deep.
go. Yeah.
And
Which, with
go ahead.
that being said, this is episode 1. It is out there. It's going to be out there on YouTube,
YouTube.
and on. Are we going to be releasing this on the podcast as well?
yeah, I'm gonna put this on the podcast as a
Okay.
little bit of a bonus episode, probably during the holidays, maybe like a little special nugget of information or entertainment. And then if you like what you hear and what you see, we're gonna have, I'm hoping by the first of the year, we're gonna have our Patreon set up to where you'll be able to follow Talking Crit. You'll be able to catch some character background one shots I'm gonna run for you guys that is gonna like play out some of the backgrounds and give a little in-depth flavor to your characters. I got some special guests lined up that they'll be running a few one shots and then stuff like that. So good things coming for the future, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That was awesome.
With that being said, I think that's a wrap. Thank everyone for watching the podcast and listening to the podcast. Hopefully, you guys will continue to support us. We thank you very much for it. And if you like what you see and hear here on Talking Crit, like give us a comment. Let us know your thoughts if we should keep doing this or not keep doing this. But that's all I got. So
Bye.
see y'all later.
Bye.